Welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel, everyone. This is Rich making another video on XRP today, as usual. So wherever you are in this vast planet, I hope you're all having a nice day today. We will discuss XRP, which originates from smoke and contrasts the U.S. Genius Act with the EU MECA regulation. Take a look at this. They are the same. Furthermore, how the heck will Tether be relevant in the US if they are unable to overcome Mica? The United States will also delist them. The ticking time bomb that is Tether is only a matter of time. 3 influencers are predicting that XRP will be the next Bitcoin, according to Crypto King. According to BitBoy Crypto, digital asset investor and crypto mason, XRP appears to be the next Bitcoin. Additionally, they discuss scarcity and supply shock possibilities, institutional support, legal clarity, and utility over hype. People believe that the 21 million Bitcoins that will ever exist is a use case for scarcity. However, XRP might potentially quickly run out of supply. Hold off on using it for on-demand liquidity until these institutions lock it away. To transfer value and money from point A to point B, use it. However, garlinghouse XRP is the next Bitcoin. It was added. Listen to it. To resolve this issue, and we are able to do it on a large scale. There are many opportunities to add value to XRP. An issue worth trillions of dollars. That's what's happening. Bitcoin Maxes consistently opposes the system, arguing that it should be replaced. XRP was positioned by Ripple to work with the system and fix it, and XRP is the next Bitcoin because of this distinction. However, were you aware that the Ripple Mafia existed? Listen to this out. Everything in Silicon Valley begins with something else. I've sort of been through some of those mafias, like the PayPal and Ripple mafias, and we believe there will be a global ID mafia as well. The Ripple Mafia exists. Who do you suppose is a member of the Ripple Mafia? Make sure to include that in the comments box below. However, you can see their experience if you look at the team that is working with Ripple. Federal Reserve, SEC, DTCC, NSA, Financial Services, JP Morgan, Citi, Merrill Lynch, BlackRock, Visa, Fiserv, PayPal, Prosper Technology, Google, Apple, Yahoo, Bloomberg, NASA, and 135 team members. Despite having the option to work anywhere in the globe, these individuals who sit on the board and work at Ripple decided to work for the company. Why? Because they are aware that the current banking system will eventually be replaced by Ripple. And everything is connected. Listen to it. Uber prior to Uber. And that did expand to become the biggest on-demand dispatch company in the world. And Jack Dorsey took advantage of that. We learned a lot about text messaging, payments, and dispatch, which piqued his curiosity. Furthermore, neither Square nor Twitter were co-founded by me. Although I was only there to put milk in the refrigerator, it did lead to our learning about 140-character text messages and the democratization of payments as well as publication. That was Square, and everything we're doing now is essentially an experiment in democratization. Therefore, cryptocurrency was similar to Ripple in that it democratized the ownership of money. Permission was not required, and Ripple is doing just that. They are leveling the playing field for everyone, including those who aspire to have not just the banks, the banking system's accessibility, and Stellar is doing the same thing, Because of this, as this develops further, everyone on the planet will suddenly have equal access to the banking system and a fair playing field. Could Bitcoin become the new reserve currency, replacing the US dollar? The news media wants you to think that's what's going to happen, you know. However, Eric Golden, the founder and CEO of Canopy Capital, said in a recent interview with CNBC that Bitcoin, the most valuable cryptocurrency by market capitalization, was still a long way from being the global reserve currency. That is a long, long way off from happening. Earlier on Tuesday, he told the host of CNBC's Squawk Box, "The grown-ups in the room are aware that Bitcoin is not scalable because of these individuals. It's far too costly and far too slow. For this reason, XRP was created as an improved version of Bitcoin." Warren Buffett, however, was aware that Bitcoin had no true value. This was posted earlier today by Uphold. Value varies with time, but what about beliefs? Do you think Warren Buffett is right or wrong? Listen to it. It doesn't pass the currency test. If it doesn't exist in 10 or 20 years, I wouldn't be shocked. For what reason does it not qualify as currency? The reason for this is that although they offer to sell you goods in Bitcoin, they alter the price of those items whenever the value of the dollar fluctuates. In comparison to Bitcoin, their prices are outrageous. "Well, I'll sell it to you in barrels of oil," they would offer. However, they alter the quantity of barrels you must possess if they check each time the price of oil fluctuates. Your oil is not the money, that's for sure. According to him, Bitcoin isn't even a currency, and I concur with them. Although it was designed to take the role of the dollar still powers everything. Furthermore, the majority of Bitcoin's worth isn't even genuine. Out of thin air, Tether creates it. They therefore developed a belief system based on the idea that values will constantly rise rather than anything that has intrinsic worth. However, that finally comes to an end. What the devil good is it if you can't utilize it to shift value or conduct transactions? People will eventually grow tired of it and go on. I mentioned the DNA protocol that will be added to the XRP ledger a few weeks ago, or perhaps even a few days ago. Your genes become a sovereign asset that is encrypted and under your control thanks to DNA protocol. They sell it to you like this, even though many of you stated in the comments area that you would never put your DNA on the blockchain. The blockchain can be used to safely keep your medical records, including prescriptions, test results, and doctor visits. Instead of businesses or the government managing your data, you control who can view them. They have consistently stated that your data would eventually be tokenized as an asset. Over time, your DNA, health information,